Just wait for a couple few people to come in.
Yeah, do your thing, bro. I'm here.
Just wait for a couple more people. Right. Peace to the gods and goddesses. I am Brother Sakim, and this is Key Life Productions. And I'm back. And I'm back with a brother by the name of Brother Taalib. And first, I want to state that the views of the guest is not necessarily the views of the person that owns the platform. So, without further ado, we're going to go in, and Brother Taalib is going to throw down and tell us why Donald Trump will 100% become president in the next round. I'm going to give the floor to my brother, and just if you can't hear him, just tap in and tell me that you can't hear him. The floor is yours, my brother.
Okay, how y'all doing, everybody? To all the listeners, and I want to make this clear first. Anyone at any time who has any questions or want to make any statements, feel free to do that. Okay? Now, what I'm about to do.
Hold up 1 minute. I wanna tell everybody, because somebody wants to come in already. I want to let the brother do his thing first. I want to let him put down, his argument, and then after he does that, we're going to let guests come in and ask questions if they want to come in. So please, the floor is yours.
Okay. Now, first, I want to make this very clear. Everything, and I mean everything, and anyone who's ever heard me on my brother's channel before knows that what I'm about to say is a fact. Everything I'm about to say, I have evidence for. And all of this evidence is on the World Wide Web. Anyone can find it, okay? I am just one of those people in the world who when I'm curious about something, I do the searching and the researching to see if what I'm curious about is a fact or fiction. And anyone, I don't care who you are, if you can prove that the information I'm about to give you is incorrect in any kind of way, I want you to let me know, okay? I want you to let me know about it, okay? Now, first I want to look at the evidence, okay? I want to present evidence that is on the web that anyone can find, okay? To why I'm saying Donald Trump is, from the evidence I found, is guaranteed. I'm not saying probably. I'm not saying 99.9%. I'm saying he's guaranteed to be president or the first dictator of the United States of America. And here's why I say this. I'm about to give you a little bit of evidence, okay? Here's the first piece of evidence, and then we can expand on this as we go on. Here's the first piece of evidence. The Department of Justice is doing supposedly doing the investigation or the criminal charges against Trump, right? Okay. Now I'm asking these questions before I go into the evidence. I have to do this. Common sense questions. Anyone in the country, any common human being, any common citizen of the United States, if you personally, this let's say you were a government official and you went and took documents, okay, secret documents that's supposed to be kept, not secret documents, but highly classified documents, and took them home. Now, I also know Biden did this, and I know every president has done this, and every vice president has done this. But I'm speaking about Trump right now. And I say anyone who does it is wrong, okay? But let me just go forward. Now, first you have to understand, these documents that they're talking about, thousands, boxes and boxes and boxes of them. There's a thing in the United States government has, a secure area. It's called a SCIF. SKIF. Sam, Kilo, Indigo, Fred. Okay, a SCIF. First of all, you have to understand this. To get into the SCIF, now the SCIF is not just a normal everyday room. The SCIF is a secure area that is, imagine this. Let's say you have a room that is 200 feet by 200 feet. That room is on a platform, okay, that is suspended. That room, the SCIF, is inside of another room, which is inside of another room. To get into the SCIF, just to enter the first part of the SCIF, there are all these security procedures that have to be gone through. I don't care who you are. You can be the person who built the SCIF, okay? And I don't know if you people know this or not, but there are people in the United States government who have access to certain secret information or high classified information that even the president doesn't have, okay? And like I said, you may doubt anything I'm saying, but I can give you the proof, okay? So all you got to do is get on the web and check it while I'm talking about it. It's called the SCIF, SKIF, okay? Go on the web right now while I'm talking about it and look up government SCIF. What is the United States government SKIF? And look at it. And don't go to Wikipedia, because Wikipedia's got answers from. Go to the government website, the United States government's own website, and put in what is the SCIF. And get the information from the horse's mouth. Okay, cool. Now, the SCIF, first, to go into the SCIF, to get into it, okay, there's these security procedures. I'm just going to give you a few of the security procedures. You have to put in a request to get into the SCIF, okay? To even get them to even think about saying yes or no, you already have to have a certain level of security clearance. Okay, like senators and congressmen and such, they have those levels of security clearance. But to get into the SCIF, you have to go through these processes. You have to go to the government. You have to put in your requisition forms to get into the SCIF and show that you have the clearance. Now, let's say you go through all of that and they say, yeah, you can go into the SCIF. No problem. Go on in. To get there, there are security guards. Like you can call them, actually, most of you think that the Navy SEALs, from the propaganda, that the Navy SEALs are the high-level anti-terrorist group in America. It's not the SEALs, okay? They are not. There's something called Dev Group, DEV-Group, Delta Echo Victor, DEV-Group. It's called Dev Group. The Dev Group, the reason I don't speak about it is because they deal with assassinations and anyway, they deal with a lot of other things, okay? So they have Dev Group level people, physical people, securing the SCIF, okay? Once you come to the SCIF and show the documentation and all of these paperwork that you have this clearance, you are escorted by Dev Group into the first section of, remember I said there's these many rooms before you get into the SCIF itself, okay? You have to have these okay, their group is watching you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Also, in all three of these rooms, there are electronic security measures, okay? Like eye scanners and infrared scanners, fingerprint scanners, all this stuff, okay? Now, once you get past all of that, okay, when you get into the skiff itself, there's nothing in the skiff. Nothing except for a table and chairs. Nothing else. They bring these documents that you requested to you into the skiff, and then give it to you. While you're looking at these documents, you have physical surveillance, meaning the people who brought it to you and the dev group security force or personnel are physically in that room observing you with these documents. You got to understand what's going on here. Then you also have electronic surveillance, all types of surveillance inside the room also. We're talking about infrared. We're talking about the best security or the most intricate and detailed security methods that you can think of. They have them in the skiff. Okay? I'll give you an example. You might be able to get into the skiff. Let's say someone hypothetically got into the skiff. They passed, they got through all of the dev group and all of this. And you're being watched. But let's just say hypothetically, they have on a jacket. And let's just say, because this technology is out there, whether y'all know this or not, where a button on their jacket just looks like a basic button, but actually it's a electronic surveillance, okay, that actually can scan what you're looking at and listen to what you're looking at. These type of things are around, okay? They've been around for, I'm talking about at least 20 years. So my point is this. So say you get in and you have this scanner on. In the skiff, these three rooms, there are these, what I'll call it for lack of a better word, wire mesh that blocks all the electronic things, blocks it all, okay, all of it. It doesn't even work. It malfunctions it, okay? So I'm just giving, that's just a little bit. I'm not going to go into any more details about, excuse me, about the security methods of the skiff. I'm just giving, that's just a touching the surface of it, okay? Now, with just that small information, and while I'm saying this, I hope you people are getting on the web and going to the United States government website and putting in what is the skiff, SKIF, Sam, Kilo, Frank, and look at it while I'm talking to you. Look at what they're saying it is and the security measures while I'm talking to you. So when I'm done saying this part, you can either say I'm lying or I'm not, but you can say, yeah, I'm lying, and then I'm going to give you exactly what it says on the government website that you're looking at, word for word. Okay? All right, so now let's say they get past all of this, okay? To get the documents out of the skiff is against all federal laws. To get it out, you have to go past all of that security, past the dev group, past outside. You have to go to get into the skiff. All those security measures you had to go to get into the skiff. You have to go through the same procedures to get out of the skiff. Now, to have these documents, physical documents, boxes and boxes and boxes of them, out of the skiff. They didn't bring boxes and boxes of them into the skiff. They brought you a document at a time. You said you have to request these documents that you want to see, okay? And let's say you request 500 of them. They're not going to bring into the skiff 500 documents. They're going to bring in one particular document at a time. When you're done reading the document, then they take that document from you, bring it back out of the skiff, put it back into a different area, and then they bring you a different, another document. Understand this. So my question is this. How did these, and I'm just using Trump for an example here, okay? Like I said before, every president has done it. Every vice president has done it. They have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of them for years and years and years and years and years and years, all the way past Kennedy, past Eisenhower. They've been doing this. But they want, okay, now mind you, I don't like Trump. I'm not down for Trump. I'm not down for, what's this other fucking guy's name? Biden. I'm not down with any of them. Okay? A sheep and a wolf and a fox, or a wolf and a fox. They just talking to the rabbits and acting like they hate each other. But that's a whole nother subject, okay? Okay? But that's something else. That's a whole different subject. So my point is, you have boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of these things. We're talking about hundreds of documents that you left the White House with and took to your own home. How are you able to do that without being without Dev Group and go? You had to go through all that security measures to get in and to get out with the documents. So my point is this: common sense says to me, just my common sense says, to get in and to get out with hundreds and hundreds, boxes and boxes of these documents, you were allowed to do it. Okay? Mm-hmm. Common sense says you were allowed to do it. You can't even get one fucking, you can't get one thing, out of the skiff without people knowing about it, without it being known, electronic and human surveillance. But you got hundreds of them. Boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes of them. And you've been doing it, president after president, after president after president after president after vice president, years and years after administrations after administrations after administrations after administrations after administrations after administrations. This has been going on. And my thing is, you people can't see it.
I see you.
You people can't see something that's so blatantly obvious. And here's why you can't see it. Because you're looking at the news. I'm not saying don't look at the news to see what they're saying, but I'm saying if you notice every single news program, I don't care what it is, whether you watch Fox, whether you watch CNN, whether you watch First Post, whether you watch Vanguard, I don't care what. I happen to check the news from around the world, okay? But whatever news outlet you happen to watch or listen to, I'm going to tell you exactly what's on your news, what's going on every one of them. Here's what's going on. First, the reporters report, okay? And then they have what they call experts come on the show to explain what they just reported on, right? Yes. Well, the purpose of the experts is not to just explain, but it's to tell their viewer how to think about what was just reported on. Okay? Now, these reporters and these news outlets have not once brought up the point about the skiff, have they? I don't care if you're watching Fox. I don't care if you're watching whatever channel, whatever station, whatever outlet. I don't care. Not one of them.
One second, real quick. I didn't mean to cut you off. 1 second, real quick.
Go ahead.
Somebody asked, what's the topic? I thought I had it branded up there, but the topic is Donald Trump will definitely 100% become president again.
Absolutely, positively. That is what my point in all of this is. Now, I'm giving you this background information so that when I get up to the Trump part of it, you'll have some background information. Because like I said, I want people to check what I'm saying. Like I said, right now, I want you to be on the government website and checking out what the skiff is. and how many layers of security that you have to get into the skiff and get out of the skiff, and what's the purpose of the skiff. Okay? So your common sense will start kicking in. Okay? Right. Okay, so now, so you have to go. So my question, like I said, I'm going to start where I left off. So the obvious question comes up to anybody who is a logically, clinically thinking person. If you have to go through all of that, all of those procedures to get into the skiff, first of all, and then to get a document brought into the skiff, and you're physically observed and electronically observed and all this other stuff, and then take the document, the physical document, out of the skiff and take hundreds of them, boxes and boxes. Come on now. How'd you do that? Mm-hmm. Over administrations, from all the way from Eisenhower. It started actually in just after World War I, between World War I and World War II. I don't remember the exact date. The presidents have been doing this, and the vice presidents have been doing this. How come the news media hasn't said this? How come the news media hasn't explained to anybody, hasn't asked anybody, wait a second here, how'd you get it out the skiff, first of all? How'd you get hundreds of them out the skiff? Hey, Biden, how'd you get hundreds of them out the skiff? Hey, what's this other fucking dude's name? Trump, how'd you get hundreds of them out the skiff? How'd you do this? Biden, you were vice president when you got hundreds of them out the skiff. So that means then who were you vice president for? Obama. So that means Obama got them shit too. But the media is not speaking on it. Okay? Eisenhower did it. Kennedy did it. Reagan did it. Nixon did it. Come on now. Don't act like... Anyway, see, if I was the media, anyway, nonetheless. So my point is, think about that for a moment. Okay? I'm getting up to why Trump is guaranteed to be president. Okay? Now that you know that information, that should make you start wondering, wait a second, if what Taalib is saying is a fact, the question is, how are they getting it out? Because obviously, you have to put yourself now, close your eyes, picture yourself as a person who actually went to the skiff yourself. You got past all the 3 rooms, 100 by 100 foot rooms, which these rooms are inside of, these 3 rooms are one room, inside of another room, inside of another room. Got to understand this. It's not just 3 separate rooms. It's a room inside of a room inside of a room. Understand this. With all this electronics and all of this, okay, get the picture now. Now, you've gone into there, you are handed, you sit at a table. While you're in there, you have at least 3 Delta Force observing you. And you have electronic fiber optics, CCTV, all kinds of electronic also, okay? Eye retina scanners, fingerprint scan, all of this. So now somebody comes in with one of the documents you requested, they put it on the table in front of you, and they go nowhere. Okay? You're observed. So now you read the document. Picture this, see it in your mind. So now you're reading these documents, you see the information that you want of these documents. How are you going to get that document out of that skiff? How are you going to do it? Explain to yourself, how would you do it? With all the surveillance, all the security methods they have. How would you do it? Yeah, exactly. But they got hundreds of them out of there. Boxes and boxes and boxes and boxes. So here's my point about the skiff. When they got these documents, all of these presidents and vice presidents, when they got these hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of documents, and they took them out of the White House and brought these things home, they were given them. These boxes were given to them because they didn't. There was no security agency in the world You can take a security person who works at a federal. Okay, when for the people who are in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, or anywhere who's hearing this, imagine your library, just your library. You got to take a book out of the library, to sneak a book out of the library. You have to take off the electronic strip that's in it. Mm-hmm. Then you have to ditch it somewhere. You have to stash it somewhere so you can get it out the building. How are you going to get hundreds and hundreds and boxes of them out? How are you going to do that? At a library, you go to a put the library aside now. Now take your basic federal building in any state you're in or any country you happen to be in right now. Take any federal building, okay? Let's say a federal building like you have to go and get your let's say you're going to go and get a driver's. No, that's something different. That's a different thing here. Let's say you go into a police precinct, okay, and you want to take something out the police precinct, meaning you want to steal something from the police precinct that's secure, that's in a secure area. Not just you go up to the window and you want to take something that's laying on the shelf. That's not a secure area. You want to take something out of a secure area of a police station, of a federal building. How are you going to do it? Mm-hmm. And it's not a skiff. They don't have the security level of a skiff. How are you going to do it? Okay, so let's say you come up with some way to do one. But you now have to end up taking hundreds and hundreds and hundreds, boxes and boxes and boxes. How are you going to do that? Okay, now, we're going to leave the skiff all alone. We're going to come up to present day. So we can get some. Now I gave you that information. Now check this out. The basic citizen of any country, well, I can't speak for any country in the world because there's some countries that are straight up authoritarian dictatorships. America's getting on that road, but I'm going to stick to America right now. Okay. Any place, any citizen knows that in America. Oh, before I go any further, I want you all who went to check that government website, I now want you to go on the web and pull up Black's Law Dictionary. BLACK''S Law Dictionary. Just put it up. It's free on the internet. Free. Anybody can see it. Okay? Put in this question. Federal penalty for a threat federal penalty for being a threat to the safety, for being a danger to the public safety. Federal law. The federal penalty for being a threat to the safety of the public. That's not correct. For being a danger to the safety of the public. Black's Law Dictionary. Okay? Just like this. What is the federal penalty for being a danger to the safety of the public? And then put in Black's Law Dictionary. Okay? And it's free. You can look it up. Okay? The reason I'm asking you to do this is so you can see what I'm about to say to you. Okay? Excuse me. Okay. Anyone who's now, for all of you who have ever been arrested, okay, and put on pre-trial release, okay, you should know what I'm about to say is a fact, okay? Anyone who has been brought to the court, brought up on charges, okay, for a federal offense or even a minor offense, but we're sticking with the federal offense, okay, and threatens the judge or threatens somebody in the public, it's like this. Let's say the mob, okay, or the Crips or the Bloods, okay, or the Aryan Brotherhood, the AB or whatever, okay, MS, whatever the case may be. That person, a particular person in whatever organization, has been arrested and released for pre-trial release, okay? And then they threaten the judge, or they threaten somebody in the public, or something like this. And the courts find out about it. What's the first thing that happens? That person who made that threat is immediately arrested and held for trial, and held until trial. Why is that done? Because that's what it says, the federal law. It actually says that is the federal law. It doesn't say maybe arrested and held for trial. A person who is a threat to the safety, a person who is a danger to the safety of the public shall be arrested and held for trial. It doesn't say that. This is what it says, word for word. Okay? It says, for someone who's a danger, who's been proven to be a danger to the safety of the public. It says that the person who commits such offense will be immediately arrested and held until trial, and held for trial. Immediately. It says will be. Doesn't say shall be. It says, because shall is the word shall legally has a different definition than the word will be. Okay, will. We're talking legal definitions here because we're talking about a court. Okay, it says that person will be immediately arrested and held for trial. I used to think it said held until trial. It doesn't say that at all. Okay, because if it was until, that means when the trial's about to happen, the person could be released. Okay, all right. It says immediately. That's my point is immediately. It says immediately. Has Trump proven himself to be a threat, a danger to the safety of the public? The answer is yes. Has Trump we're looking at a gang thing now. Let's look at it from a gang point of view, okay? I call it anyway, I'm not going to. Let's say that a person in a gang threatens the public, threatens somebody in the public, like a witness or whatever, the judge or something like that. No, he says, you know what, man, I think the judge is a motherfucker, and I think the court attorney is a bitch ass. And then all of a sudden, that person who said that about gets these threats. Starts getting these threats. But it doesn't happen just once. It happens over 2, 3, it happens over 2 years. And this person is still allowed to walk the streets free. He is not immediately arrested. The Department of Justice does not immediately arrest him. They don't arrest him at all. Think about that for a minute. Why would the Department of Justice, when they would do it to any other common person in society, and they have done it, I bet you they've done it to some of you out there, immediately arrested. But all of a sudden, with this individual and the other high-ranking members of his organization, meaning of his government, you know what I'm talking about, the people who planned this, I call it a terrorist attack, just like some of the media calls it, the terrorist attack on the Capitol. The high-ranking people in that organization, like the captains and lieutenants and shit like that, they ain't been touched. They're not a thing. Why is that? Why is that? Seems kind of strange to me. Yeah. Why are you allowing what you're saying, what everybody in the world knows, is a threat to the safety of the, it's a danger to the safety of the public, threatens judges, courts, he even threatened the Department of Justice. He threatened Jack Smith. But this man is still walking around free. And the media is not saying shit about that either, are they? Mm. I don't care if it's Fox. I don't care if it's CNN, First Post, Event. I don't care what it is. No one's saying a word about that. They're not saying anything about what I'm saying here. Kind of makes you wonder, huh? Yeah. Don't you see where I'm leading here? Think about that. Why would they allow him a threat to remain free when the federal law says what they should do? Why are the federal government, the highest court in America, the highest judicial system in the world, in America, the Department of Justice, why are they not doing it? Now, for anybody who has this dumbass response, like I've heard people say to me, maybe they don't know the law. Talking about the Department of Justice here. They got thousands of people. The people on your news channels and news media, those people are ex-lawyers. Okay? You don't know that because you haven't done any searching or researching about who the people who report the news to you, what their backgrounds are. Okay? You don't know that a whole rack of 90% of them were lawyers. You don't know 90% of them, about 45 to 50% of them were in the government, meaning senators, local mayors and shit like this. You don't know a lot about these people, okay? I don't care what media outlet you're looking about or talking about or watch or listen to. They're all of them, okay? But that's a whole nother subject, okay? But, okay, so now let me just get to make this short so people can say what they got to say and ask their questions. Okay, now, the other thing is this. I don't know if you people remember or not, and personally, look, I'm just a straightforward, honest guy. I think most people are stupid, okay? Because they don't use their analytical ability. They don't use their ability to analyze what they've been told and what they're listening to. As long as it sounds good, they fucking say it's the truth. They feel it's the truth. If their friends believe it, they'll believe it. If their friends tell them, look, man, James Brown was white. He had a white mother, okay, and his father was black, but his mother was white, which is crazy. They'll believe it. Instead of, you got this thing in your hand called instead of going and doing a check-in on it. Yeah, okay? So that's why I feel like most people are stupid as an ant. Okay? And that's insulting an ant. I don't mean to insult anybody, but I'm just keeping it straight. Okay? No caps here, as they say. Okay? So check this out. So here's the other, so I don't know if you people remember or not, and I don't think you do, because your news channels haven't told it to you, haven't reminded you of it. In the beginning of this January 6th thing, the Department of Justice didn't even want to, even though the FBI gave the Department of Justice boxes and boxes and boxes of evidence that Trump should be brought up on charges, that the Department of Defense, the DOJ, Department of Justice, refused. The word is refused. Do the checking. You got the web in your hand. They refused to charge you with anything. Refused, literally refused. They told the FBI, we refuse. Look, check it out. The documents and everything is right on the web. So when I found that out, first thing that popped in my mind, but they're charging him. So why are they charging him? So the next thing that came to my mind was, okay, when did they bring their first charge on him? So I could find out what the circumstances were and all of that. To make it short, guess when they charged him? after the January 6th committee brought the documents and the evidence to them. Now, the Department of Justice would have said, "Fuck you, I'm not doing it, we refuse." But what the problem was with saying no was that they had all this evidence and stuff presented to the whole world. Right. So the Department of Justice was forced to bring charges on Trump. They didn't want to do it. They were forced to do it via the evidence that the January 6th committee presented to the whole world. Right. That's when they charged him. Now, I got another question for you. What was the main charge the January 6th committee said that the Department of Justice should, amongst other charges, but what was the major charge they said they should charge Trump with? Anybody remember? Treason and insurrection and what was the other word? I forget the other word right now. But there was three of them. Treason was one, and committing an insurrection was two. I can't remember the third one right now. But my point is this. Is Trump charged with treason? No. Is he charged with insurrection? No. Is any of his lieutenants or generals charged with that? I'm not talking about the soldiers, like the what do they call them, the Proud Boys and people like that. I'm not talking about them. They're just the soldiers and military form. In the military, the infantry or the soldiers, they're cannon fodder. You put them out there because you know 1,000 are going to get killed. Okay? So in other words, they're sacrificial lambs. That's why. Anyway, that's enough. But anyway, so here's the point. Like, I'll say it like this: like Cheney, Pence, all of the people who knew what was going on. Okay. They are not charged with anything. Not one charge. Come on now. DOJ, Department of Justice, is not following the law, not adhering to the federal laws when it comes to these high-ranking people. Trump hasn't been charged with nothing, no insurrection, no treason. What's the other word? But the reason that they haven't charged him with any of that, because if they charged them with that, and it would have to bring up the subject to the world, well, that anybody who's charged with treason against the United States of America, automatically, there's no discussion about this part of it, is automatically disqualified to be run for any government office again. Any, not just presidency. They can't even run for a mayor. They can't run for nothing. The head of a city council. They can't run for no government office ever again. It's automatically disqualified. So why are they not charging with these particular crimes? Treason, insurrection. Why are they not charging you with that? Huh? Yeah. They didn't want to charge him with nothing in the beginning, but they're making damn sure not to charge him with nothing where he can't run again. Yeah, that automatically disqualifies him. Now, here's another question I have for you. The media, okay? I don't care what media station you're looking at, okay, or listen to. The media keeps saying that if Trump delays, he's going to have a chance to be voted into office again, right? Because he's playing these legal delay tactics, right? What's the Department of Justice doing? The media's not speaking about this. The Department of Justice is doing the same thing. They're playing these delay tactics, legal delay tactics. Okay? Jack Smith did not have to bring the case to the jurisdiction he's brought it in. He did not have to do that. Okay? That's the federal government, not a local government. He did not have to do that. Why did he do it? Why did he do it? Okay. Eileen Cannon is the judge over there in that jurisdiction, the jurisdiction escapes me right now. She's the judge there, right? Eileen Cannon was appointed by Trump. She told the people years ago, about a year and a half ago, something else came up, and Eileen Cannon said, "No, fuck that. Y'all gotta wait. You can't even check him out. DOJ, you gotta stop what you're doing until I rule on this." I forget exactly what it was. Okay. So what happened? That was a delay from bringing him to trial. Yeah, it delayed bringing him to trial and made space so he can get closer to the election. And people, I don't know if y'all remember this. Then the media was saying, "Oh, Eileen Cannon, she should be excused from the she should excuse herself from the trial and all of that." Knowing that judges don't do that, judges will shoot you in the face and tell them. A judge will know the person who arrested you. That means they should expunge themselves from the case. They know the cops that arrest you. The same cops thing to go in front of the same judges in the same courthouses. Okay, let's get real with it. Same cops, same prosecutors, same defense attorneys go in front of the same judges because they're doing this for years. So those judges should be recusing, as the word is, recusing themselves from the case. But they don't. So all of a sudden they're saying Eileen Cannon should recuse herself, knowing shit well that she ain't gonna do that. But they keep saying shoulda, woulda, coulda, woulda. Get the fuck out of here with that. Stop talking to me like I'm some idiot. Okay? So the point I'm making is this. I'm bringing all these points about what the DOJ is not doing that the law says they should be doing. Okay? So, and don't forget, originally, the FBI brought evidence, boxes of evidence that said the DOJ should charge Trump, and the DOJ refused to do it. All this information is on the web. When did they start doing it? When the January 6th committee brought evidence to them, but before they brought it to them, they presented the evidence to the world. So the DOJ didn't have no choice. They were forced into a corner. Yeah, that's right. Get real with it. Okay, so now DOJ, and don't forget, DOJ, the law says if you're clear and present danger to the safety of the community, you have to be immediately arrested. Black's Law Dictionary. Look at it. Oh, the reason I'm saying Black's Law Dictionary, because Black Law's Dictionary is the dictionary for law, okay, what penalties and shit, that from the Supreme Court on down to local courts, lower courts, they all refer to Black's Law Dictionary. It's called peer-reviewed, something that is peer-reviewed, P-E-E-R, reviewed. Okay, look up the word. I'm not going to go into what it means, but it's the peer-reviewed dictionary, law dictionary, for all lawyers, courts, everybody uses it who's in the legal system. Okay, anybody right now who's got a lawyer, okay, or I don't care who you are, on the defense side or on the other side, whether you're charging someone, have someone, whatever side you're on, ask your lawyer. Or you go to a lawyer's office if you don't have a lawyer. Go to a law office and say, what's the peer-reviewed law dictionary? Or just say like this, what's the dictionary that the Supreme Court uses and most courts use in America? Instantly they're going to say, oh, that's Black's Law Dictionary. How do I know this? Because I checked the Black's Law Dictionary out at least 15 years ago. Okay? Right. Okay? So that's why I referenced Black's Law Dictionary. Okay, so now let's just review now. Let's review the steps now so I can get to y'all questions and statements. Just review. To get things out the skiff, you can't just take shit out the skiff without it being known. But yet, presidents after vice presidents after vice presidents since it started between World War I and World War II. They've been doing this. Boxes, they each take hundreds of these things. Okay? Out. Hundreds. Next thing, how they get them out of there? Because somebody gave them permission. They were given these fucking documents. It's normal in the military and in the government. It's called SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. It ain't nothing new. The problem with the beef with Trump is he let this procedure be known to the public. That's why they so bitched at him, because what they were doing secretly, Trump did in people's face. Okay? And mind you, I already said this. I don't give a fuck about Trump. I don't give a fuck about Biden. They don't give a fuck about none of us. Keep it real. If you think they do, you're a sucker. Mm-hmm. Okay? Ain't no government official ever gave a shit about you, ever gave a shit about the public. I'm talking about high-ranking, high-level government people. They don't give a shit about you, nor me.
No.
Okay? So, that's something different, though. Okay, now, they got the shit out the skiff. Originally, the DOJ, Department of Justice, they refused, even though they were given the evidence by the FBI, they refused. Literally, the DOJ, Eric Garland said, we refuse. The documents are on the web. Okay? When did they start doing this they're charging Trump? After the January 6th committee presented all this evidence to the world and then gave the actual evidence to the Department of Justice. So the Department of Justice only brought these charges because they were forced to by the January 6th committee. Now, mind you, if the January 6th committee had just given the DOJ the information, the evidence, and didn't let the public know about the evidence, it would have been the same result that the FBI gave the information. They would have said, we refuse. Eric Garland would say, fuck you. I ain't doing shit for you. Fuck out of my face. Okay, now, okay. And, okay, so what was it? Oh, so clear and present danger to the public. The law dictionary gives it only one penalty is in there. Now, explains in detail what the factors of that one penalty, but there's only one penalty for that. Immediately arrest and hold that person for trial. That's it. That's the only one. Only penalty. But yet, and the DOJ has immediately arrested and held for trial thousands upon thousands upon thousands of people in the general population who have committed that same federal offense. But they're not doing it with this man Trump. See the pattern here? See the pattern here? Also, they're talking about delay. If you delay, Trump is just doing this delay shit. He's just using these legal tactics for delay. So is the Department of Justice. If the Department of Justice really wanted to follow the law, okay, like Eric Garland said, and Jack Smith said, quote, you can look it up on YouTube, the statements. The Department of Justice will go wherever the evidence leads us. And the Department of Justice will go anywhere without favor nor fear. We do not have some other statements they said about, I can't remember the exact statements, but it came down to, we don't fear nobody. We're going to go wherever the evidence leads us, and we don't care about how high-ranking you are. We don't care about your level in society. We don't give a shit about none of that. If you break the fucking law and you do this and that, we're going to do exactly what the law tells us to do. Says should be done. The bastards are not doing it. They're not doing that. They're actually not, and they're doing this shit right in front of your face, and you don't fucking see it. God damn. That's why I say people are stupid. Mm-hmm. Because their news reporters showed it, like I said, the news reporters report the news, then they bring on these panels of people to explain how you should think about what you just saw. In other words, the old statement is, don't believe your lying eyes, believe how I tell you to think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't believe your lying eyes, believe what I say is going on. The fuck you mean, man? I see with my own eyes that you, the Department of Justice, you're playing delay tactics. You're not arresting this guy. You're treating him like he's above the law. You didn't even want to arrest this man in the beginning. You didn't want to charge him with shit until you were forced to by the January 6th committee. I'm talking directly to the Department of Justice. They were standing here in front of me. Motherfucker, please, don't play that shit on me. I'm not that guy. I am not that guy. Okay? Matter of fact, we can go into... Oh, no, that's a whole nother subject. Okay, so... excuse me. Long point short, I'm not that guy. Okay? So, okay. So, now, coming to today, okay? They have the Department of Justice is delaying. They're using legal means to make the trial go to get to the time to get to the trial take longer. By doing that, it's the same result Donald Trump wants. Donald Trump wants to delay all this shit until he can be reelected, until the votes come. Right, until he can be voted on and then get back in the White House. And I'm going to tell you why. All of this is... Okay, so he can get back in the White House and be the first dictator of America. Okay? Now, Donald Trump is being... these different states are disqualifying him from running for president. Right? They're trying to say, now we're going to take his fucking ass off the ballot. Okay, cool. So now hear this. Hear me out. We're going to take him off the ballot. What's obviously the next legal procedure? He appeals this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Right, he appeals it. What does an appeal do? Delays it. Mm-hmm. And all these lawyers and courts and shit, they know this.
Yeah.
The media knows this too. So it delays. So the delay comes, the local courts say, fuck you. You still can't get on the ballot. What does that do? It delays it even more. And why? Because now you got to go to the Supreme Court. Mm-hmm. Anybody with half a brain knows now that the Supreme Court, like the rest, this is my opinion, and I can go into the evidence of what I'm about to say in a whole nother show, in a whole nother thing, okay, program. A criminal, like the whole government, all the higher level members are fucking criminals. Straight up criminals, thugs. They just do it with a smile and a suit on. And then they pass laws to make that criminality cool. Okay, fuck out of my face. So anyway, okay, so what's his name? What's the guy's name that everybody's bitching about on the Supreme Court? Thomas. Okay, so Thomas, right? They found out the man, is taking gifts and shit like this from one of the higher members of the Federalist Society. You people need to check out who the Federalist Society is, Federalist Society, and who their higher echelon is, who the high-ranking members are there, their names, what companies they own, through third and fourth parties and things like that. Like a few of them own, have major stock investments in Diebold. I don't even know this. Diebold is the when you go to vote, you look on if they ever allow you to go to the back of the machines and look at the manufacturer who actually builds the machines and puts the computer chips in and shit. Yeah. That company is called Diebold. Okay? Then if you go to the stock market and look up Diebold, you see what their stock is worth, and then you check who has who has the most stock in Diebold. You don't find the Federalists. the high-ranking members of the Federal Society. Check it out. Check it out. It's all on the fucking web. I just happen to do, I'm one of these people, I do the checking and the research, right? I do. I'm that guy. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm not going to go into the details about that because it would take too long, but y'all need to do the checking, and I can go into that the next show, the next segment. But my point is this. Remember what I said about the documents, and everybody's been doing it. Remember what I said about they didn't even want to charge him in the first place, and they were forced to do it. They were backed into the corner because the January 6th committee put all this shit on around the world. Okay? They're not adhering to the law. They're not arresting this guy. There are a lot. If you're not arresting him, and the law says you should, that means you're allowing him to stay free and allowing him to continue to do what he's doing, even though you keep doing these legal tactics to delay. You say, well, the courts are, and the DOJ, look, we're going to put this gag order on you and gag order on you. Well, check it out. Don't forget this statement. Anyone who does the same thing over and over and over again and expects to get a different result is stupid as a fucking ant. Okay? If you do the same thing over and over again and continue to get the same results, you're an idiot. Okay? You need to change what you're doing so you can get if you want a different result. But right. Jack Smith, the DOJ, and all these courts, they keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, knowing for sure that it's not going to have any effect. Mm-hmm. So why are you doing the same thing again? But you're not doing this one thing. There's this one fucking thing that you're not doing, you bitch ass. Here's the one thing you're not doing. You're not arresting the motherfucker. Immediately arrest and put him in and hold him until fucking trial. Why are you skipping over that? Why? Why you happen to be skipping over that? Mm-hmm. I got to wonder. I don't wonder because I know your fucking game. Okay? I know what you're doing. But anyway, my point. Let me put it like this. This is what the evidence is showing. Everything I've said is a fact. The evidence is right on the web. Where do you think I got it from? Out the air? I got all of this on the web. Okay? All of it. Every bit. So with all of that information, they're not letting... And the people who have the most stock in the voting machines are some of the... Let me put it like this. Some of the people who have the most stock in Diebold of the Federal Society. The Federalist Society controls the Supreme Court. Because Thomas is not the only one that's getting kickbacks from the Federal Society and the other motherfucking societies that the good media is not even speaking on. Okay? Other high multi-billionaires. And don't forget the guy who they said giving all this stuff to Thomas. Right. What is in this guy's house and in his yard and all of this? Nazi memorabilia. Mm. It's all on the web. Mm. Yeah, he's a Nazi. He's not necessarily a Nazi, but he believes in the Nazi ways. Yeah. Yes, he's a member of the Federal Society. You think if the Federal Society did not agree with him, do you think they would allow him to be a member? Yeah. Mm. Yeah. Who's one of the people that started the Federal Society? He did. Yeah. Yeah. Don't forget now, the Nazis were backed by Ford Motor Company, by Chase Manhattan Bank, and don't say that it wasn't, because all you got to do is get on the web and find out. The Nazis would even have trucks and tanks and shit like that. No military apparatus. If Ford didn't give them trucks and tanks, give it to them. Didn't sell it, gave it to them. Chase Manhattan Bank financed them. But that's a whole nother subject. So y'all don't know how all this stuff, so you don't know how to put this shit together. Okay? So here's my point. With all that information, and they control the voting machines. Okay? There's a plan. that's been set in motion a long time ago. I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but right after the 9/11, when the planes hit the towers in New York City, Trump did, not Trump, but Bush did a public address in front of the United Nations. Y'all need to check it out. It's all on the web. You can look that up on YouTube. And he said, look up Bush's New World Order speech in front of the United Nations on the YouTube. He says, this gives us a chance to bring in the New World Order. And we will succeed. Now, I know most of y'all people don't understand this. When they plan to do something, I know most of y'all think, okay, I'm going to plan to do something, I'm going to fuck this guy up, and I'm going to get him on, whatever the case may be, I'm going to do whatever I'm do. And y'all only think like a day or two or a week, and plan for a day or two or a week. These people plan for the next generation, okay? Because they have to condition a whole generation. And then the generation they conditioned, that generation that comes after them, the generation that's conditioned to think a certain way and act a certain way, those people will condition those children that they have.
Pass it on down.
Okay? Right, okay? So they're thinking generations. So Bush's day, George Bush and the other Bush, the Bush father and the Bush son, their father was part of the Kennedy crew. The Kennedy crew were gangsters. They brought molasses. I'm not going to go into that. There's a whole connection there. But my point is this. The Department of Justice has no intention, they never had any intention of incarcerating Donald Trump. Never. The evidence shows it. They never had and never will put Trump in prison. They never wanted to, and they never will stop Trump from being president. Okay? Because they don't want him to, they want him, it's not them, but the people who, like the Federal Society who run shit, and the people behind the scenes who actually run the world, okay?
Yeah.
They want Trump to be the of America. Okay? They run the voting machines, man. Y'all don't remember, most of y'all don't remember, that when, this is the last part, and then I'll let y'all say what y'all gotta say. What's his name? Al Gore. Al Gore ran for president. Okay? And Diebold was the same company that had owned and ran the voting machines and built the voting machines and programmed them and all of that. When Al Gore ran for president, when the election was over, there was a discrepancy. Al Gore said, no, I won. Just like Bush, Trump is saying, I won. So they recounted. They did a recount, okay, and found out that some of the votes were not counted. Mm-hmm. And some of the votes that went for his opponent, I forgot what the guy's name was, but some of the votes that went for Al Gore's opponent were actually should have went to Al Gore.
Yeah.
Okay? Right. But when they said that, I don't know what happened behind the scenes because I haven't checked that out, okay? Al Gore said, no, don't worry about it. It's all good. Homeboy he can be president. Okay? So really, in the Al Gore, when Al Gore ran for presidency, Al Gore actually won the race. Okay? He actually did. Check it out. Look and check it out, okay? But check this out. They called it the CHAD, C-H-A-D incident. CHAD, Charlie Hotel Alpha David, Delta, CHAD, C-H-A-D incident. Because they had paper ballot, they had electronic, and some of the voting machines back then, when you pressed who you voted for, it would put a dent in the paper, a hole in the paper, okay, in the paper ballot. Understand?
Yeah.
And the machines were found. This is all of this is on the web. The machines were. If you let's say you pressed Al Gore, the machine was programmed to give it to the other guy. Yes, it's documented evidence. It's called the Chad incident of the Al Gore presidency. Al Gore presidency when he ran for president, called the Chad incident. Okay, the same people run the. Now, mind you, after that happened, the voting machine company, they changed their name. It's called rebranding. They changed their name to what it is now. Okay. If you didn't do nothing wrong, and if that machine just all those voting machines around the country were just fucking up on their own, why you need to change your name? What you afraid of? Why are you hiding who you are?
Yeah.
You need to answer that question. That's like asking a person who was living. A person changes their name. Why most of the time a person changes their name or gives themselves a different name? Because they're hiding something.
Right.
The name they had before, there's some negative shit attached to it. I don't know about a lot of y'all, but if you ever come from the hood and you was doing dirt in the street, why do people have a street name? They say, don't call me by my fucking government name. Call me by my street name, yo. What you doing, son?
Right.
Why? Why was that done?
To hide something they
because
did.
To hide your fucking government name. You don't need your government name passing around the fucking world. Shut your fucking mouth and call me by my street name. You can't do that. Get the fuck away from me. You know the rules, y'all. Come on now. I don't know. I come from the hood. Plain and simple. Okay? Get real. All right, so now the same people who ran those machines then, and what I mean by ran, built and programmed the machines then, the same company builds and programs the machines now. Okay? They just go by a different name. And the people who have the highest, who have the most stock in that company happen to be members of some of the members of high-ranking members of the Federal Society and other organizations that I'm not going to go into now because they don't even know who they are. Okay? So with all of that information, and the Federal Society runs the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, I don't give a fuck who says, what state, county, whatever says, Donald Trump can't do this, Donald Trump can't do fucking that. If it goes to the Supreme Court is going to say Donald Trump could do what the fuck he wants. But they're just going to do it polite with a smile on their face, with legal ease, legal talk, and shit like that. And Jack Smith is doing the same fucking thing. But mind you, they're doing it through legal tactics. Delay. All we got to do, motherfucker, is delay the shit. Just sit your ass down, relax your fucking ass. All we got to do is delay it. Why? Because the closer we get this man to the motherfucking election, we got everything controlled, man. We got it all squared away. Don't fucking worry about a thing. Just shut the fuck up, sit the fuck down, stop panicking. We got you. You feel me?
Yeah.
So with all this info, with all that fucking evidence, you tell me what's going down. I'm done. Go ahead.
Right. We're going to thank Brother Taalib for that information. That's definitely something that should be out there. And right now, and I'm going to add, it was a lot of people that was up in here that was trying to actually come in. But right now, we have a couple people, and I want to ask, before we get out of here, do any of you have any questions for Brother Taalib? Do you want to come in and ask him any questions, dispute anything that you disagree with him about that you heard? We're going to, let you come on in right now. But before the people was coming, and I put my
They
finger.
Scared, man. They scared. They scared, bro. They scared. They ain't nothing new. They scared as hell.
Yeah, it's a couple just dropped out. So, I mean, it was people up in here, man. As soon as you started, somebody was like right up in there. It was like a Arab dude was in there. I think a black guy. It was different people. So, you know,
Well,
so
they scared, bro.
mm,
Nothing new, man. They scared. They can't deal with the facts. They probably want to come up and say, "Yo, man," with some bullshit. Okay,
yeah.
come on, man.
Somebody
Come
sent
on,
me a
man.
couple. Sent me a couple gifts. Somebody that was passing by that, like I guess, liked the information. But this information will be on YouTube and it will be on my Facebook page and pieces of it on my Instagram and TikTok. So, anybody hear this that want to come in and get back with me to get with Brother Taalib is invited to do so. So, with saying that, do you have any last words that you want to throw in?
Me
Yes,
or anybody else? Oh, me?
yes.
Well, no. Look, people. This is what I'm about. What I'm saying to y'all. Whether y'all believe me or not, it really don't matter to me. Straight up with you. It doesn't matter to me one way or the other if you believe me or not. What I'm saying to you is you need to go on the web and do the checking. See what's really going down around you. That's what I'm saying you should do. Trump will be the first dictator of the United States of America. Now, I ain't no psychic. I'm no like super intelligent guy. All I'm doing is relaying to you the evidence that I have. That's all over. That's all over the web, all over every news channel. It's right there in front of you. Now, of course, excuse me, I could be wrong. Could wake up tomorrow and Trump is in fucking jail. He's being charged with treason. He's being charged with sedition and stuff like this. And his generals and stuff like that, not his soldiers, but his generals,
You
could
know
be
what?
up with.
Uh, Excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. You know
No,
what?
man.
What I like you to do, like real quick, um, just in 1 minute, in 1 minute's time, and then we'll end it. Can you sum it up? Um, can you put some things in some words that will fit right into 1 minute session?
Sure. Here I go. Trump is going to be the next president. When he's the next president, white people going crazy. I ain't prejudiced. I don't believe. I'm not prejudiced. No, excuse me. Let me correct myself. I am not racist. Okay. I know. Hear me. I'm not racist. Go into the dictionary and look up that word. Okay. I just hate people who fuck with me and my people. Okay. But Trump will be the next. He will be the first dictator of the United States of America, and the the white people are going to go crazy. And here's why: they will be treated like the government will treat them like they've been treating people of color since people of color got to this country.
Mm, wow, that's something right there
So
to think about. And with
that's
that,
that's
yeah,
yep. Go
with
ahead, bro. I'm done.
with that, we're gonna go on out of here, and I will catch you next time on Key Life Production. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the likes, and I'll see you later. Peace.